were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Oh, I can now hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic.
Welcome again to yet another fabulous episode of Three. I'm here live with Kris Gray, our master astrologer, Rainey Day, our psychic medium, and me, I'm your intuitive tarot consultant. And each episode, what we do is we select a caller, and that caller zooms into the program, and then that guest asks a question. Now, once the question is posed, then the caller gets to choose which one of us gets to answer the question first. And then the person will choose the question, who answers the question second, and then by default, whoever's third, right? I have a couple of announcements. I want to let you know that we are doing yet another wonderful live show at the Composer's Room here in November. And so you want to go to www.thecomposersroom.com to get your tickets. Very modestly priced, but you're going to find out, like we did in our very first debut show, the loving and collaborative and thoughtful and historic and sacred environment that this was created. It was just so I can't even begin to describe to you all how amazing it was. I mean, you guys, wasn't that an awesome experience?
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
I know, right?
And the tickets, I think, are from $10 to $25.
They're like $25 is the most expensive, which is, I think the $10 tickets are if you join the club for the Composer's Room, and then you get on their mailing list, and then you get to be considered a VIP. I don't know how many shows you have to attend before you get the VIP ticket status, but $25. I mean,
it's going to be epic.
That's the cost of a martini at frickin' T-Bones at Red Rock.
I love your style, girlfriend.
Right?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back right after this with our first guest today, and that's Jennifer.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
And we're back. We have the fabulous Jennifer with us today. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So what is your question for the three of us?
Okay, so my question is, for the last several years, I've been going through some health issues, and I feel like they haven't quite figured out what exactly is going wrong with me. So I'm just wondering if you agree, if you see that they're going to find the answers, or if they maybe are on the right track.
Okay, so you realize that you're speaking to three intuitives, and we're not medical professionals.
Right.
Okay, so I have to say that for the record. We're going to give you our vibration of what we pick up, but we're not medical professionals, and nothing we say replaces anything medical. So who would you like to have
guidance would be good.
Okay, so who would you like to answer the question first?
Let's start with Kris.
Okay,
great, because I was hoping she'd pick me. So
I was too.
Okay, before I answer your question, I want to touch on your natal chart, but whenever I pulled your natal chart, I actually already saw what your question is. So, anyway, so you're a Sun Capricorn and you're a Libra rising. Have you ever had your chart read before?
I have not.
Okay, so your rising sign is based upon your date of birth, the location of birth, and your exact time. And it's so specific to you because you think about, how many people were born at the same time in the same place on the same day as you, and it's probably, few and far between, probably none. So it's very specific to you, and your rising sign directs your entire natal chart. So all of your placements, they tell me a lot about you. They tell me about events that you've experienced in your life, and then also it's how I can predict current events that you're going through, and then also future events. So as a Sun Capricorn, you tend to be very earthy, dependable, stable. You're a rock for a lot of people. Usually, Capricorns are also very ambitious as far as work is concerned, and like career ambitious. But I want to touch on the Libra rising, because that's really specific to you, and it's really a big part of your chart. So being a Libra rising, you're ruled by Venus. And so this makes you very easygoing, very polite and charming, usually the diplomatic, the natural mediator. People usually come to you because you can see all sides of a situation, and you tend to give really good advice. So as it relates to your question, this is really important for you. So there has been a very big transit, and it's kind of a long transit, and it usually lasts for about 7 years. It is almost over for you. But when this transit hits your 6th house of health, what it causes is mystery illnesses. It's like, and it's nothing major, but they're very hard to diagnose. So you can go to several doctors, and they all kind of are shaking their head like, I don't know. So usually
Exactly.
like rheumatologists, you could go to, I'm talking so many specialties. And so some of them might say, oh, well, we think it's autoimmune. And then they run all these autoimmune tests, and they're like, it's not autoimmune. So more than likely what it is, because when I see this transit, this transit usually causes side effects, and it can be something that you're not usually allergic to. So let's say there's a new supplement that you started taking, and it's having an interaction with another supplement or a medication. It also talks about you being during this transit being susceptible to any kind of side effects of any kind of medication. So let's say you're taking a medication that is supposed to be reasonably easy to take, and maybe a 1 in a million chance that you're going to have a side effect. You might be that one. So usually what I recommend during this transit is take things that are just very just be really kind of conservative. And I kind of feel like you're already conservative with medications and things like that anyway. But be conservative, make sure you read all the labels, you do research. But the good news is that this transit's almost over for you. So the planets, they go forward and backwards. And so they can move out of that particular area of your house, and then they come back in for a time being, but it's almost completely out of this area of your chart for you. I'm going to give it within the next, like very soon, you're going to start feeling relief, like within the next, let's see, probably the next couple months. And then I would give it the next 6 months. You're going to be completely done with this transit and over it, and all those mystery illnesses and everything are just, they're going to be a thing of the past. So
Awesome.
Also watch anything connected with water, like electrolytes, any kind of salt intake. So make sure that you're getting plenty of hydration, and then care for your feet as well, because a lot of times this can cause problems with the feet, like pain in the feet or pressure points. So maybe a nice little massage in your feet. And then also good detox is good too, like maybe even a metal detox. So I'll leave you with that.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to add something to Kris real quick before you, okay? Oh, who do you want next, by the way?
Let's do you, Mona.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, because I got to jump in. Okay, so the funny thing is then while Kris was talking, I went right to water. And so there she is, kind of closing her recap with you with water. I'm going to say it's slightly different. I actually think that there's, and okay, this is out there on the internet. Some people believe in it, some people don't believe in it, but I'm going to throw it out there. There's something called the Japanese water cure. All right. And 90% of us walk around dehydrated all the time, that we don't drink enough water. All right. And who's the big football player with Tom Brady? So Tom Brady has a very, very unusual.
I'm glad I could help you.
Thank you. Right after you got it, right? So Tom Brady has a very, very unusual, very strict diet. And he drinks something like 128 ounces of water a day.
Oh my.
Okay,
Wow.
it's a lot of water. So every hour you can think that he's probably drinking at least 8 ounces of water. But the Japanese water cure, which is out there, and again, some people think that it's the real deal and they think it's full of hooey, but it doesn't really matter. What happens is that the very first thing that you intake to your body should be at least, according to this Japanese water cure, between 24 and 32 ounces of water within the first hour you're awake. So if you wake up at 7 a.m., you have 8 ounces, 7:15, 8 ounces, 7:30, 8 ounces, 7:45, 8 ounces, and then back at 8 o'clock, 8 ounces. So now you've just had 40 ounces of water because 5 times you've drunk 8 ounces of water. Now, 8 ounces at a time is actually not that much water. But what happens is that when you start putting your body in the habit or in the expectation of taking in extra water, what happens is that you become more regular. Your body becomes more alkaline. It becomes more healing. So that's the first thing I want to tell you about the water. All right. The second thing I want to tell you about the water is when Kris was talking about some sort of healing energy or foot massage, I want to take that a step further. I love the foot massage idea for you. Matter of fact, you can even go to those places that for $29, they'll massage your feet for an hour. It's totally worth it. Right?
Reflexology.
Totally. Yes.
Totally do that. But the other thing you can do is get water almost too warm, all right, and put a cup of Epsom salts in a tub. And while you're sitting in front of the TV in the evening, soak your feet. Because not only will all the circulation come to your feet, it's also the salt, the Epsom salt leaches away not only negative vibrations in your system, it pulls it out of your body, all right? But it also makes you feel relaxed. So then when you go to bed, you're going to sleep a little better. So this would be something I would do about a half hour before you go to bed. So I wanted to tag on what Kris said. Now I'm going to turn your cards over. But I'm telling you that I felt overwhelmingly compelled to tell you that. So thank you, Kris.
Yeah. Great information.
All right. Okay. So I want to tell you, I'm starting to really show people what I cut the cards to. So I've cut the cards to not only the most powerful card in the deck. In traditional tarot, this card's called the World. It's this one right here. In my deck, it's called Completion. But I cut the deck to a card called the Master, which is the most powerful card in the whole deck. And it's actually a representation of Osho himself, the person who created the whole Osho Zen philosophy. But it's the card of connecting with spirit. So I actually wonder if you started just very simply every morning saying to yourself, I'm open to my blessings and ready to receive. If you could just start saying that to yourself every morning, I'm open to my blessings and ready to receive. Because I think that there's another vibration going on here. And I realize I feel like I'm kind of running a tangent here, but a lot of what Kris said is making me say this to you. And then you got this card called the Master. This is the card of spirit working through you. So you've been a giver most of your life. And I know, and Kris is nodding her head. You can't see that right now, but she's nodding her head. Because you've been a giver most of your life, you've kind of ignored taking care of yourself. So right now, there's no one with a sense of emergency around you that you have to take care of. So darn it, you got to focus on you right now. So,
yeah.
So now that you're focusing on you, you're like, well, I'm kind of tired and I don't feel so good. And my food's not just digesting the way it did before. And you're starting to feel a little wonky. Well, it's because it's time to fill yourself up. So again, I'm open to my blessings and ready to receive every morning. That's what you say to yourself. I'm open to my blessings and ready to receive. So now let me clear the cards for you and pull the cards out. But boy, it just felt I had to tell you all that. So, okay, so I'm laying out my deck. And I'm drawing your 5 cards. And you can see on the screen, because the fabulous John has a camera focused right on my little reading pad here. Okay, so the first card is experiencing. So I actually think within the next 3 weeks to 3 months, you start feeling a bunch better. And I really would start doing the water thing, because it's not going to hurt you anyway. All right. The exhaustion card is mind, body, spirit, exhaustion. All right. So I wonder, are you also having trouble sleeping?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. So one of the things, it's funny because when Kris and I were on the way to the studio this morning, I was saying that my husband and I watch something really stupid before we go to bed. We watch like an old rerun of something because it calms our mind down. We try to avoid watching the news before we go to bed, because not only are we bombarded with political ads these days, and of course, by the time your episode airs, we'll know who the new president is. So I'm just saying, but what I'm getting is that you really need to work on getting better rest. Now, here's the interesting thing, is that you have one physician that feels like he's dismissing you. Like he can't wait to get you out of the office. You keep showing up. He doesn't have an answer for you. And he just wants to like dismiss you. Then there's another physician here. He's younger, and he looks at what's going on with you in a very, very different way. So I'm almost wondering if you might want to get an allergy test in addition to all the other things that you're looking for, because maybe there's something that you have suddenly become allergic to, and that might be the cause of your maladies. So I'm wondering if you might want to take it a step further and ask your doctor to go to another doctor that's an allergist. Okay. Because I'm just wondering if there's maybe a buildup of mucus and something where your body's not responding to what you usually like to eat. Like I had a friend of mine that found out she was allergic to egg whites. She could eat egg yolks all day, Caesar salads all day, because that's what the egg yolk. But egg whites, her body really resisted. Well, she loved egg white omelets, and it ended up being kind of the cause of her problem. And then the last card here is talking about you finally find a way to set yourself free. But it's saying that what you concentrate on over the next 3 weeks, 3 months, actually gets you out of this. So there you go. All right.
All right.
Okay, so I think it's Rainey's turn.
Well, I'm going to validate a couple of things that Kris and Mona both said. I wrote them down. Your journey feels like you are being passed back and forth from one specialist, like Kris said. She snagged me when she were talking about autoimmune, rheumatology, endocrinology. I think you are just being passed from this person to that person to this specialist to that specialist, and you come back a week and a half, 2 weeks later for them to read you the results, and you're disappointed that they can't find anything. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
It wouldn't hurt you. I'm going to kind of highlight what Mona said about the allergies. Patch testing might help you. There's apps that you can download, and you can scan a product to see, am I allergic to this? But my darling, I feel, and I am not a medical professional, and I hate to say this word, so I'm going to call it the vid, because YouTube has a way of censoring some of those words. I think it's we lost her. I think it's post-vid. Do you know what vid is?
I do not.
So it's co-host. Thank you. Co-host and vid.
In other words,
I don't want to say
there was something people had to get a vaccination for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It ends with a C.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying not to say that word because.
And the number 19.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. We played charades. Thank you, Spirit.
I got it. I'm slow, but I got it.
And it's
First
word, right?
First syllable.
They're not going to find
One word.
anything. Yes.
Right.
And there's not a lot of research on this. And I immediately got Stanford University, because a lot of what you're experiencing is something that they kept showing me I personally have experienced. And you're going to be let down every time you sit in that office. I think they're going to find it. I think they're going to find it. I think you need somebody more specialized, because it is literally now a new form of medical profession. They're going to have people that specialize in that. I keep seeing Sally's Beauty. Is there a Sally or somebody you know that works at Sally's Beauty? I kept getting that. And Eric or Erica, do those names resonate with you, alive or departed?
No.
Just tuck that away. And after the read, if those come up, don't forget to let us know, because I'm getting strong Eric or Erica on the other side.
Maybe Eric is the person that's the allergist specialist.
This feels departed.
Okay.
But maybe. I mean, I've been wrong a lot of times.
Maybe someone tells her a story that, hey, my friend Eric ended up going to
Stanford University.
Right. There's
yes, thank you.
I'm aligning there. With you.
Actually, a lot of my doctors are at Stanford.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
But what you need to do is you need to have the whole team together, meet with the entire team, and talk to them about the Co-19 and see if there's someone who specializes in post-vid. Did your dad fish a lot? Was your dad a fisherman or grandfather? I'm seeing on your father's side of the family strongly a fisherman.
I don't know much about my dad's dad. My dad, no, but his dad he wasn't here around a lot, so he may have been a fisherman, but
I would
don't
love.
know.
Have you ever done Ancestry DNA or 23andMe?
A little bit, not a whole lot.
Please get back on there, because there is somebody associated with fishing, fishing boats. I keep seeing like a tuna fisherman. Here's the weird thing too. I don't know where Portuguese comes in, lineage, but this man is very strong and is telling me, would you tell her to get herself a makeover? Go out more in nature, get out of your home. She said, would you please just cut your hair short, put on makeup, and even if you leave the house, put on lipstick. Just start doing more self-care. He said, she's so beautiful. She's just not seeing the beauty that she has to share with the world. Your smile, if you're in the Walmart checkout, your smile attracts and helps so many people. You, like Mona said, are the caregiver. Well, it's time for you to start giving more care to yourself, self-care. Okay, thank you. Your skin feels extremely yelling for moisture. Saltwater bath, kind of what Mona was talking about. But I would also do like an something that doesn't have perfume in it. Please, morning and night, start just moisturizing your skin.
I'm a big Gold Bond girl.
There you go. Shout out Gold Bond. But it just feels like it's screaming out for please, I'm shriveling up. Get out in the sun, get some more vitamin D. Nature is your healing grace, but you have forgotten about that, because I literally feel like you have this dark cloud over you. And with love and grace, it's self-imposed because you're not used to taking care of you.
Right.
My grandmother used to always tell me, Rainey, you first. And I would think, man, I'm a mom. I'm a this, I'm a that, I've got to do this, that. There's not much left over for me. But if your foundation is strong, it isn't strong, nothing around you is strong. And she used to say, Rainey, it's selfless, not selfish. So as long as you take care of you, everything else falls around you like the domino effect, perfectly aligned. I want you to get out of the mindset, I'm sick. I want you to start saying, I'm healthy. I feel good today. Force yourself to get up out of bed, take a shower, go for a walk, put on some headphones. My grandmother used to take me to this beautiful little lake in Reno called Virginia Lake. And I would put on headphones. Remember the cassette players? That kind of dates me. I put on cassettes. And she would sit down and she would make me walk around counterclockwise, because that helps reset your energy. And with every step you take, the first 10 to 20 steps, ask Mother Earth to take away what she can at this moment, space and time. You can't give her everything, but what you can. And then turn up your music and just walk and ground and look at the ducks, look at the birds, notice everything that's flying around you, the bugs. Go hug a tree. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you feel a tree, it gives you life force energy back. Everything around you is live and everything around you is connected to you. And I want you to start having that mindset. And I want you to walk all the way around to where you started, but go a foot or two beyond that and then seal it in. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. And then take some, I don't know where you live. Do you live in Las Vegas?
I do not. I live in the Central Valley, California.
Oh, my husband's from Patterson.
Yeah, I'm in Merced.
Cocktails, we have friends there. A lot of beautiful orchards, my beautiful, that you can be walking through.
Yes.
You need to start taking advantage of all of the life force energy around you. Please look at your father's grandfather. There's a beautiful story to be told, and it must be passed down. There's a movie called Coco. It's a Disney movie. It's lively and beautiful. Watch it. It'll take you to another space. And I'm almost done. I'm going to wrap this up, I promise. But there are pictures, ancestors. I want you to get all of your pictures together and create an ancestral altar. In that movie, if you don't remember them, they start fading away, which they really don't. But I want you to bring that spirit back because, my darling, you are gifted. You have so many ancestors on the other side trying to help you, trying to wake you up. It is time for you to wake up. It is time for you to get out in nature. You have gifts, my love. And it is the gift of the hug, the gift of hands and hands-on healing. When you give somebody a hug, do you feel them very strongly? Like, I feel your pain.
Yeah. Yes.
You are a healer. I would love for you to go to your local child protective services. See if you, this came up yesterday, see if you can volunteer to hug and hold babies and rock babies. Your hands, my love, are magical and they are healing. And I'm going to leave you with that. Much love and grace.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Kris needs to jump in, and then I got to jump in again too. So go ahead.
Okay, so while Mona was talking, adrenal fatigue came to me. I really feel like adrenal fatigue might be one of the causes, and so it comes from just exhaustion, and it's like mind, body, spirit. But also, if you've been through some kind of stressful situations over the last, I feel it's more like since 2018. So it's kind of turned into adrenal fatigue. Also, you touched on allergies. So another thing that comes up with this transit that you're experiencing is, let's say you've gone your whole life, no allergies, then all of a sudden you develop allergies. Very, very likely. And then once this passes, it's very possibly that they'll go away. And then I also wanted to touch on your solar return. So your solar return is your personal horoscope from one birthday to the next. So you're currently in still the 2023-2024 solar return. And so this particular solar return has, it talks about having just kind of weird, kind of undiagnosed, just kind of medical things, but they're nothing major. Just it looks like it's more of annoyances and little things that can't be figured out, much like this transit that you're going through. But then your next solar return, starting in this birthday coming up, it's free and clear. So just wanted to add on to that too, that not only is this transit passing for you very soon, but also your solar return talks about it. But this next one coming up, starting around your birthday, you're gonna be feeling so much better.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Tell me when her birthday is again.
It's in December.
Oh, she is Sagittarius?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, no, she's Capricorn early.
Capricorn.
There you go.
Okay, cusp Capricorn, Sagittarius. Okay, so it's the Sagittarius in you that wants to rescue people. It's the Capricorn in you that actually needs to be more grounded. Okay, but that's not why I wanted to jump in. I just wanted to find out which way you resonate, and I actually think you kind of go teeter between those two vibrations. Okay, so whenever my husband and I start to feel even remotely punky, like off, whatever, one of the things we do is we go, and this is, so I've already plugged Gold Bond lotion. I'm going to plug another product
Shout
here.
out.
Okay, because I love Gold Bond, because not only can you do Gold Bond for your body, but they have a gold bond that comes in a big pump thing that you can use for your face and your neck and all that too. But it's all the same stuff. It's just a little bit more sensitive for your face. But anyway, I'm agreeing with Rainey on the fact that you, by giving lotion to yourself, it's like you're caressing yourself. So there's two reasons to do it. Not only because your skin's like crying for it, but also because you're actually doing the caressing yourself when you put lotion on yourself. But the thing with my husband and I do when we start feeling a little puny is we go to the store and we buy the emergency, those packets, okay? And they're vitamin C packets that have 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Now, there's a woman here who's amazing. Her name is Kelly. If you lived in Las Vegas, I would refer you to her. But she's a physician's assistant, which means she's like one little tiny step below being a physician herself. So her nursing degree takes her to that level. She can prescribe medication. One of her biggest, the two biggest things she works on is IV therapy and hormone therapy. All right, so those two things. But the other thing that she actually encourages people to do when they start feeling a little punky is that you do what's called a vitamin C flush. All right. So what you do is on a day that you know you're going to be home all day is every hour you drink one of those vitamin C packets. Now, she uses a different kind of vitamin C. My husband and I use the actual emergency package. And you still eat like you normally do, but every hour you actually have in about 6 ounces of water one of these emergencies. Now, what that does is your body cannot hold on to vitamin C. So when you're doing a vitamin C flush, you're actually giving your body as much vitamin C that it needs. And you do this for the whole day. So you'll probably end up going to do, let's say every 2 hours, you do one of these packets. So you're going to do maybe 6 or 8 of these packets in a day. Now, what'll happen is your body will want to release, which is why you want to stay home. Your body's going to want to release.
Purging.
Now, purging. So I'm not telling you to take a diuretic, and I'm not telling you to take, what's the one for the bowel movement?
A laxative.
A laxative. Thank you. I'm not telling you to take a laxative, not telling you to take anything that's diuretic. What I'm actually asking you to do is give your body a whole boatload of vitamin C and see what happens. Because if you end up having a big release, which is what the hope is, and then you end up having a really good night's sleep, the next day you might feel amazing. So I'm just saying.
No,
right.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Your sacral, which is your second chakra, it's right below your belly. It's where your gut system lies, your gut health. You are emotionally exhausted to the point of depletion. Just like Kris said, your adrenal glands are extremely fatigued. I kind of want to go on what you said. There's a lot of things that need to be purged, my darling. And it has to do with you not putting yourself first. I cannot say that enough, that it is time for you, because if you don't, it causes dis-ease. And I also, it's a curse or it's a gift. I can see and feel what people do as they start taking their last breath, as their body keeps trying to keep them here. That is going to be one of your biggest regrets, is that you didn't chase that dream, because that dream is not going to chase you. You have a dream. What is it? You don't even know, do you?
No, I don't.
Because you put everybody else first.
Yeah.
Full circle, my darling, full circle. I want you to start remembering when you were a little kid, 4 or 5. What were your dreams? What were your goals? What were your desires? What did you love to do? What was fun? Go fishing, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I want to travel is what I really want to do.
All right. Well, here's the cool thing is that you could actually start a Jennifer Travels blog, and maybe even a social media thing on Instagram or TikTok where it's all about Jennifer's travels, but it would be Jennifer's travels from a different point of view than where a lot of people do travel. So yours would be from a much more mature point of view than the average person. But I'm agreeing with my fellow intuitives here. You got to take care of you right now, and you're not doing that. So all of these things that we're suggesting to you, none of them will hurt you, And again, we're not a physician, we're not a nurse, we're not an
Never trust a psychic medium.
Never trust a psychic.
Only what resonates.
However, if there's been some inspiration of you visiting with us today, well, that's why we're here. So I think Kris has one more thing to add.
I do. So I want to touch on the travel. So you have this long transit. It started just a couple months ago. Actually, it's September. So actually started maybe about 3-4. Let's call it May-ish, May, June. Okay, it's a long transit. It lasts for a year, and it's the luckiest transit. And it's actually transiting through your house of foreign travel or long distance travel. So if now's the time to make some plans to travel abroad, or even if it's long distance, it doesn't necessarily have to be outside of the country, but just kind of maybe even a road trip across some states. But it's a really lucky time for you. You're going to have so many beautiful memories, and you're going to carry with you for a lifetime.
I have one more quick idea. I kept saying Southwest Airlines, go get a little part-time job as
reservationist.
Because yes, and then you get free flight bennies.
Yes, we love you working.
Buddy pass, girlfriend, right here.
That sounds great to me.
We love you getting a part-time job with Southwest. Now
I would love that.
Here and again, I'm going to touch on what Rainey said earlier, and I want to emphasize the fact that you are not doing anything to make yourself feel better about you. And so what I would do is I would make a phone call down to Nordstrom's at the makeup counter and say, will you do a makeover for me? All right. The other thing you want to do is you want to go to a hairstylist and say, which hairstyle do you think would be most flattering? And I'm kind of agreeing with Rainey that it might be time to cut it all off. I like my short hair.
Girlfriend, sometimes I just put my head out the window as I'm driving to drop her off. Make it easy.
All right, Jennifer.
All right.
Now, what's your feedback from being on our program today?
Great. I enjoyed it tremendously. It's great. Lots of love. And I really do need to concentrate on myself. And it's I'm getting to that point. I am going actually on a trip in a couple weeks. Mona, you know Tim really well, and I've known him since junior high school, and we're actually going on a cruise together in Bahamas.
Oh,
Yay.
oh,
So
that's
record
marvelous.
it. Get yourself social media, Instagram, Facebook, time together, and TikTok, and start posting these videos. Help us, because I'm over. Yes, I'm older.
You're over.
There you go.
Yeah.
And show us that fun side of a cruise. And I've never been on one.
I keep getting Jennifer's Travels, like Gulliver's Travels, but Jennifer's Travels is like that. That would be your handle. And the nice thing about when we're filming this program is that you can establish that handle before somebody else hears it. So I would love you to snag Jennifer's Travels. Have Tim help you to do it because he's the social media king. So
yes.
Have him create Jennifer's Travels, right? And do it on TikTok, do it on Google, do it on Instagram, do it on X. And every time you do something fun, take a picture of your food and post it, or take a picture of the view and post it. But here's the thing. I keep getting that this life begins now for you. You're not going to be any younger than you are today.
Right.
Right. Chase that dream, because that dream is going to chase you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for being our guest.
God bless
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, bye now. Wow, for people that don't cover health issues, we really got into it today, didn't we?
Very specific, Kris. Good on you.
My gosh.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and some of our other people that tune into the program and subscribe to WWDBTV, they might take some of the tips that we've actually ends up, oh yeah, I am feeling a little punky. Maybe I'll do this. Or I do want to get my allergy test. Or maybe I do need to have my chart done and see where the natural things are going on here. Maybe I needed to connect with Rainey and say, well, what does Spirit have to tell me?
Well, I've done readings before, and I'm sure you all have too, where other individuals have gotten, it's almost like that message was meant for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just by watching.
Yes. So true. All right, you guys, I want to thank Kris Gray and Rainy Day and you all for tuning in, and we'll be back live soon.
God bless.